Mr. Woods, what's that thing pressing against me? I was teaching a freshman girl how to drive at a driving school. I never expected that this innocent-looking but boldly dressed underclassman would actually ask to sit on my lap and have me teach her hands-on. On the way, I held back my urge and forced myself to focus on teaching as I deliberately ignored her brushing against me. But then she released the clutch too quickly, and the car suddenly stalled and shook violently. She fell heavily between my legs, and I could feel myself pressing against her core. She was only wearing a short skirt with thin underwear underneath. My name's Ryan Woods. Last year, I offended the director of my old driving school and got kicked out. This year, I came to work as a driving instructor at a school near a community college, and it was full of young female students. The students' thinking was simple and sheltered. They partially understood desire and had no real sense of boundaries, acting purely on instinct. They would dress provocatively and flaunt their bodies. Because of that, I ended up seeing plenty I probably shouldn't have. But remembering how I was fired for offending my boss before, I treasured this job and forced myself to stay professional when teaching my students, even when I felt tempted to do otherwise. Still, physical contact was sometimes unavoidable. Most of them were around 20, right in the age when emotions ran high. Some of them had never dated in high school and had never been close with a man before, so they were especially sensitive, especially that girl from the dance department who had just started her first year of college. Her figure had developed perfectly, with curves all in the right places, and even the way she walked drew attention. She seemed to particularly enjoy being close to me, always requesting that I tutor her one-on-one. Sometimes she would press her chest against my arm, and sometimes she would brush her fair, perfect legs against my pants. After giving her lessons, I would have to spend half a day relieving myself after I got back home. These incidents happened more and more often, and the way she looked at me grew bolder by the day. That afternoon, Alice Brown hurried over in small, quick steps to practice driving. She was wearing her dance outfit, a white practice suit with a short skirt that hugged her figure closely, showing all her curves. She bent over and knocked on the car window. "Hey, Mr. Woods. Sorry, I'm late. I was just in dance class." Her dance outfit had a deep neckline, and when she bent over, it was hard not to notice the fullness contained inside. I opened the passenger door and smiled. "Took you a while. Hurry up and get in." She sat in the passenger seat, grabbed my arm, and pleaded in a soft voice. "I've already failed the field test 4 times. If I fail again, I'll have to start over. You have to help me." Looking at her pleading eyes, I sighed. "All right, then let's." She suddenly leaned closer and whispered softly near my ear, "No, I can't learn like this." Her fingers slid down my arm and rested on my thigh. "How about I sit on top of you, and you teach me hands-on?" I froze, filled with the scent of her perfume. Without knowing why, I nodded. "Thanks. I hope you don't mind me sitting on your lap." Alice climbed from the passenger seat onto me, her bottom sticking up as she shifted little by little. She had just come from dance class and was covered in a thin sheen of fragrant sweat. The marks looked especially mesmerizing against the white silk. I couldn't help but take a sniff, and the soft, sweet scent filled my lungs, making my heart pound faster. I wasn't sure if it was on purpose, but Alice suddenly placed her hand on my crotch. In that instant, I felt as if my body had been electrocuted. A numb and tingly sensation ran through me, and I shuddered hard. Alice hurriedly apologized. "I'm sorry, Mr. Woods. I didn't notice. Did I hurt you?" She was something else. I was obviously enjoying myself, but she was apologizing to me instead. I waved my hand and smiled. "It's fine. Sit properly. I'll teach you step by step." Alice adjusted her position and sat on my lap again. She had great aim. She landed right on my manhood. She was only wearing a short skirt with thin white stockings underneath. When she sat down, I could feel my crotch rubbing against her core, and it seemed to suck me in. To make it worse, Alice shifted slightly to get comfortable. The pleasure from the friction immediately gave me a reaction, and my hardness pressed against her. She felt something unusual and moved slightly, asking, "Mr. Woods, what's that hard thing pressing against me?" After being asked such a direct question, I didn't know what to say for a moment. I replied randomly, "It's just a tumor on my thigh. Just bear with it and focus on driving." After Alice settled herself, I held both her hands on the steering wheel. I taught her patiently, "Hold the wheel steady, eyes forward, left foot on the clutch, right foot on the brake. Slowly release the clutch and find the half engagement point." This time, Alice was very careful. She had already failed 4 times and didn't dare make another mistake. When the clutch reached the half engagement point, the car began to shake violently. Alice jolted heavily against me with each bump, and I could feel the friction building between us. The soft, resilient bounce of her hips against my body sent a tingling, almost itchy sensation through me. I felt as if every pore on my body was wide open, greedily drinking in her softness. Without thinking, I grabbed her waist and positioned myself in a suggestive pose, but the psychological tension only made everything worse. Alice seemed to respond as well. She was getting warmer by the minute, and she grew soft and pliant against me. Finally, she could not hold it anymore. Her foot slipped, releasing the clutch too fast, and the car stalled again. The car shook violently. Alice was jerked upward and then fell heavily back down in my lap. The impact sent a surge through me. It set my blood on fire, making every cell in my body tingle and ache with a raw, electric need. A soft, breathy gasp escaped Alice's lips. This was her first time feeling a man pressing against her, and she seemed completely captivated by it, curious and alive with the thrill of discovery. But she was too embarrassed to show it. She only clenched her body and stayed where she was, savoring the moment. She said quietly, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stall the car. I just don't know why I feel a little warm down there, and I'm weak all over." She thought saying it like that wouldn't draw my attention. I pressed her body down, closing our distance. "It's okay. Just start the car again and try one more time." Alice reached to turn the key. I couldn't stop myself and unzipped my pants to let my manhood out. When Alice sat down again,